Hello, my name is Josh. Today I'm going to show you how to do some land use mapping and zoning analysis in QGIS. And today we're going to be looking at a zoning analysis of Footscray, specifically seeing the area of the buildings within the flooding and inundation area. So to get the data which we'll use in QGIS, you can go to the Vic Data website, and here you can find the data for the planning overlays and the buildings as well. And what you want to do is you want to get the planning scheme, get the SHPs for it, and whenever you get any data from the website, you just add it to your order. Then you can proceed to ordering it, and I choose the projection type of zone 55, and I always have the offset buffer set to a couple kilometers, and then having it export as a shape file as well. And you just want to select your area. So say, for this instance, we're doing Footscray. And as you can see, it selects Footscray, and you can just apply. We'll do this one. There we go. And you can just apply that to your selection. And then you just order the data and get it sent to your email, which can take, depending on the file size, up to 48 hours, but usually you get it within about 10 minutes. I've organized a couple of these files earlier. So now jump into QGIS, and first things first. Okay, and then what we want to do is we change our zoning type by going to this bottom right icon here. And as you can see earlier, I've already searched up zone 55 MGA. You just want to make sure that's the exact same type that you have with the data you're collecting. And the reason this is important is because this is the projection overlay of the world, and depending where you are in the world, the map's projection will be different. So for the eastern side of Australia, this is the zone that we like to use. Let's apply that. And then we can put the OpenStreetMap overlay over our map, and we'll zoom into our area which we're looking for, which is in Footscray. When you've got your downloaded files, you can find them in your browser. And for this one, we're going to look at the planning overlay in Footscray, and you just want to adjust it to the app type that you're using, which it should do automatically for you. Here we are. And the way we can organize this data is by going into the properties. It might start off with information, but you go to symbology, categorized, then you want to select your value, and we're going to look at the zone descriptions. Then we'll classify that. And by doing this, we can see all the different zones on top of the map. For us, we want to just look at the flooding overlays. So instead of going through this map and deselecting everything but the zones, like this, we can instead go to our attribute table, just expand your description so you can see what you're looking for. And we want to look for the flood overlays and the land subject to inundation, which we can see here. So we'll select these attributes, and we'll just look for that flood overlay as well. There we are. So now that we've got these selected, you can see that these zones have been selected throughout the map. What you want to do is you want to right click your plan overlay layer, and then you go export, save selected feature as. Make sure it's saving as a shapefile. And you want to click on your three dots, and we can save this layer as the flood inundation zone. You click save. It's also important to make sure that you're just using the underscores instead of spaces as well. Okay, and we want to add this saved file to our map as well. Overwrite that file. So if I turn off this plan overlay, you can see this is the flood inundation zones. What we can do so we can see underneath it a little better is we can go into our properties and our symbology. Maybe we'll change it to a blue. And we'll just change the opaqueness of it down as well. Somewhere around 50% so we can just see what's underneath it. Now I want to see where our buildings are within Footscray. So we can drop this file in as well. And what we can do to see the buildings that are within the zone, we can go to our processing toolbox, which you can find, it's this cog up here. It's also Control-Alt-T. We want to go select by location. And we want to select the features from our buildings in Footscray. And we want to make sure that the features are intersecting and they are within the compared feature, which will be our flood inundation zone. You can run this process. And what this has done is it's selected buildings that are intersecting or within the zone. However, you can see that there's this building here, which is quite large, and it's not completely within the zone. So perhaps we should turn intersect off, just to see how that affects our overall map. I think this should still be okay. And then again, what we want to do is we want to export our selected feature from the buildings. Go to the triple dots, and we'll save this one as buildings within the flood inundation zone. And again, make sure that it's adding itself to your map as well. Override that file. Turn off our buildings in Footscray, and now we can see all of our buildings which are intersecting or within the flood inundation zone and flooding overlay. Now to calculate the area of these buildings, what we can do is we can open the attribution table, go to your field calculator, we can type sum and insert the area. There we go. We'll call this the total area. Okay. Oops. Here we go. And this will give us our total area of buildings here within our zone, which is about almost 117,000 square meters of building that could be flooded. Thank you for listening to this video.